Ladies and gentlemen, Charlton Heston.
The Reason Foundation is an exciting new force. It's creating a freer, more prosperous America. It's having a positive impact on federal, state, and local policies. Robert Poole founded the Reason Foundation in 1978 on the philosophy of our nation's forefathers. A philosophy that protects individual liberties and property rights, seeks limited government, and promotes a free market system. Through the combined efforts of its national magazine, Reason, its research department, and its local government center, the Reason Foundation has succeeded in promoting this philosophy. Perhaps the greatest contribution the Reason Foundation has made is developing the idea that big government is not the answer to every man's woes. The Reason Foundation coined the term privatization, the transfer of government functions to the private sector. It's credited with popularizing the term all over the world. The foundation argues that privatization promises to save taxpayers billions of dollars, reduce rising fiscal pressures on the federal government, and still maintain the services we need. The Reason Foundation publishes many reports to support this theory. These reports don't just make good reading, they're having a real impact on the way our nation's government addresses public policy questions. These studies have shown how privatization can improve the nation's airports and air traffic control system, our troubled prison system, the operation and preservation of the nation's public lands, and reduce traffic congestion on the nation's roadways. Our federal, state, and local governments can't keep up with the nation's growing needs. There just aren't enough tax dollars to go around. The Reason Foundation's work is showing how the private sector can successfully provide essential services at higher quality and at lower costs. Other areas of the Foundation's work include space exploration, decaying infrastructure, and the growing national debate over growth, no-growth issues. The Reason Foundation is providing vital answers to these policy questions and more. At the state level, the Foundation's work is equally piercing. The combination of the work done by the Foundation's local government center and its regional advisory council members is bringing the Foundation's philosophy to policymakers in communities all across the country. California has recognized the value of the Reason Foundation's studies. The state legislature recently passed legislation allowing for the testing of 4 private toll roads, largely as a result of a 1988 study by the Reason Foundation. That study argued that adding private roadways will not only reduce traffic congestion, but because of a resulting freer flow of traffic, will also improve the air quality. North Carolina's ports and railroads were the subject of another local government center study. That study showed how North Carolina's economy would be improved if the railroads and ports were sold to the private sector. A private investor, the report argued, would operate the ports and railroads more efficiently and would enhance economic development of the state. The Reason Foundation's local chapters are also very active. Drawing on Reason Foundation studies and expertise, supporters in Dallas and Phoenix have played key roles in defeating costly rail transit boondoggles. And in Honolulu, tourists can now use private jitney services to get around the island as a result of our members' actions. Reason magazine has regularly been in front of national issues, providing a monthly forum for timely opinions, articles, and ideas on public policy. Founded in 1969 and incorporated into the Reason Foundation in 1978, one of Reason's first claims to fame was its call for airline deregulation in 1969. 10 years later, President Carter and Congress passed legislation deregulating the airline industry. Today, millions more people can afford to fly, thanks to increased airline competition. Other items covered by Reason also place the magazine ahead of its time. Reason proposed a space-based defense system 4 years before President Reagan announced plans to move forward with that project. It also pushed for deregulation of Ma Bell long before it happened. But Reason doesn't just cover technological issues. The magazine is known for its feature series by Jack Wheeler on freedom fighters around the world. Its investigative report by Eric Zeus revealed the truth about the Love Canal and was featured on ABC's Nightline. And author Carl Zinsmeister exposed how communist governments manipulate food supplies to suppress the populace. with Ethiopia as a brutal case in point. In addition, Reason's been responsible for bringing to the forefront the personalities and thinking of some of the world's most influential policymakers and thinkers. Ronald Reagan, Milton Friedman, and Frederick von Hayek have all been interviewed by Reason magazine. Charles Murray, author of the revolutionary books on welfare policies, Losing Ground and In Pursuit, has also been featured in Reason's pages. But Reason's influence on public policy is not confined to just the pages of the monthly magazine. Many of Reason's articles are featured in newspapers across the country. The Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times. Together, the Reason Foundation and Reason Magazine speak for the philosophy on which this nation was founded. But they can't do it alone. The Reason Foundation is entirely supported by donations from corporations, foundations, and a lot of people like you. With your support, the Reason Foundation can go on protecting your liberties. The Reason Foundation, affecting policies that affect you.